No one really prepares you for this part of life. People talk about retirement, about slowing down, but they never mention the silence. Not the peaceful kind, but the heavy kind, the kind that settles in your chest when the phone doesn't ring, when the days all start to blur, and when you start wondering, is this really it? You're not alone in feeling this way. And no, it doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're human. You've lived through so much, raising kids, working hard, showing up every day no matter what. You've adapted to loss, to change, to quiet disappointments that you never even named out loud. But somewhere along the line, without even realizing it, many of us start making quiet little choices, the kind that slowly chip away at the joy and spark we once had. It's not your fault. These changes don't come with sirens or flashing lights. They come with routine, with loneliness, with a belief that maybe, this is just how aging is supposed to feel. But I want to tell you something right now, it's not. Growing older isn't the problem. In fact, aging is a gift. It means you made it. It means you've survived what others haven't. But aging without intention? That's where the trouble begins. That's when we start to drift. That's when we lose touch with the joy, the fire, the reason we even wake up in the morning. This video isn't here to scold or shame. It's here to gently hold up a mirror, so you can see what might be silently holding you back from the life you still deserve. Because that life? It's still waiting for you. Today, we're going to walk through 9 quiet but fatal mistakes that too many people make as they age, mistakes that shrink your world without you even noticing. But more importantly, we'll show you how to break free. Not with some giant life overhaul, but with small, powerful shifts. Let's start reclaiming what's yours. Before we dive deeper, if any part of this already feels like it's speaking to you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Tap the bell so you don't miss the next video. Like this one if it resonates, comment below with which part hits home so far, and share this with someone you love. We're building a space where your voice, your story, and your future still matter. Now, let's keep going. Mistake number 1, believing passion dies with age, 3 to 5 o'clock. Let's be honest, somewhere along the way, many of us were sold a lie. That once you hit a certain number, 60, 70, 80, you're supposed to pack up your dreams, your creativity, your fire, and just coast. The world around us feeds into this. People stop asking about your interests. Even your own family starts treating you like your story's already been told. But here's the truth. Passion doesn't die with age. It fades from neglect. It dims when you stop giving yourself permission to feel excited. But it's still there. Maybe you used to love painting, music, gardening, writing, traveling, dancing. And maybe you told yourself, that version of me is gone. But what if it isn't? What if it's just waiting for you to come back? Passion isn't about being young, it's about being willing. Willing to care again. To feel alive again. To try something new even if you're terrible at it, just because it fills you up. I knew a man who started playing the piano at 74. He was clumsy, slow, and completely in love with the process. When I asked him why, he said, "For the first time, no one's expecting anything. I do this just for me." That's the beauty of passion in later life, it's finally free from performance. So if something still sparks inside you, even just a flicker, don't ignore it. Water it. Feed it. Let it grow. Because the moment you believe your passion is gone, you start living like you're gone. And you're not. Mistake number 2, depending emotionally on your children, 5 to 7 o'clock. There's a quiet kind of pain that doesn't get talked about much. It's not physical. It's not financial. It's the pain of waiting. Waiting for a call. A visit. A moment when someone, especially your own child, remembers you're still here. We give everything to our children. And it's only natural to want that bond to stay strong. But here's where things get complicated. When your entire emotional world begins to depend on their attention. When your joy is tied to how often they visit. When your self-worth rises or falls with every unanswered text. At first, it's subtle. You feel a little hurt when they forget your birthday. A little disappointed when they cancel plans. But over time, it grows. And suddenly, you're measuring your value by how much they show up. The truth is, they may love you deeply. But they can't be your only source of emotional nourishment. They have their own lives, their own stresses, and yes, their own blind spots. It's not fair to them, or to you. Because when you depend too heavily on them, you don't just feel lonely, you start to feel invisible. Let me ask you gently. When was the last time you did something just for you? Not for your family. Not to pass time. But because it made your heart feel full? When was the last time you connected with someone outside your family, just for friendship, for fun, for you? You are not just a parent. You're still a whole person. Your emotional world deserves more than waiting for a message that might never come. When you stop depending on them to feel okay, something powerful happens. You stop resenting the people you love. You stop disappearing. And you start relating from fullness, not from emptiness. Miss your children? Of course. But remember yourself, too. You deserve your own attention. Your own care. Be the one to remember you first. Mistake number 3, neglecting the body because it's too late anyway, 7 to 9 o'clock. Somewhere in the aging process, a lie sneaks in. We start thinking, what's the point of taking care of myself? I'm already old. And slowly, we stop trying. We skip meals. We stop moving. We ignore that nagging ache or just brush off sleep troubles like they're normal. But here's what no one tells you. That's not acceptance. That's surrender. And over time, surrender turns into self-neglect. You feel it when getting out of bed becomes a struggle. When stairs feel like mountains. When you look in the mirror and quietly avoid your own eyes. This isn't about vanity. It's about dignity. Because how you treat your body sends a message to your spirit. And when you neglect your body long enough, your spirit starts believing it doesn't matter either. But it does matter. Your body doesn't need to be flawless. It doesn't need to be young. It just needs love. Movement. Nourishment. Attention. And no, it's not too late. I know people in their 80s who stretch every morning. Who take daily walks. Who dance, yes, dance, in their kitchens. Not because they want to live forever. But because they want to live better right now. Your body still listens. Even small steps, drinking more water, walking a little farther, stretching in the morning, can reawaken something inside you. Not just pride. But power. You hold your head a little higher. You move through your day with just a bit more energy. And you remember, you are still here. You are still capable. So if you've stopped trying because you think it's too late, let me be the one to tell you. It's not. You get one body. Treat it like it matters, because it does. Mistake number 6, living on autopilot and withdrawing from life, 9 to 11 o'clock. It's easy to slip into routine as the years go by. You wake up, pour your coffee, sit in the same chair, follow the same rhythm. And before you know it, the days blur into each other. Nothing dramatic happens. But nothing exciting does either. And that's the danger of autopilot. It doesn't feel bad, just empty. You start to pull away. Not just from others, but from yourself. Your ideas, your creativity, your curiosity all go quiet. Especially if you've been through loss, illness, or if the world just feels too loud. You may tell yourself you're just resting, but withdrawal isn't rest. It's retreat. And it's often your soul saying, I'm tired of being disappointed. But life is still calling to you. Let me ask you gently. When was the last time you did something unfamiliar? Not for praise, not to impress anyone, but just to feel awake again. Maybe it's as simple as walking a different route, trying a new recipe, reading a book you'd normally pass over, calling someone outside your usual circle. These tiny moments, they matter. They tell your brain, I'm still in this. I still care. I'm still living. You don't need to fill every hour. But don't let every hour pass you by. Choose one thing each day to engage with life, even if it's small. Because when you stop moving, life doesn't pause with you, it keeps going. And you deserve to move with it. Still here? Still tuned in? If this part resonates, comment number 6 below. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Your support helps us keep making videos like this, honest, uplifting, and made just for you. Mistake number 7, clinging to draining relationships, 11 to 12:30. As we get older, our social circles often shrink. Some friends drift. Some pass. Family gets busy. And in that loneliness, many of us hold tighter to the people who remain, even if they no longer bring us peace. You might stay connected with someone who leaves you drained, who criticizes more than they care, who makes you feel small instead of safe. Why? Because being alone hurts. But being with the wrong people can hurt even more. Here's something that's hard to say, but true. Time spent with someone doesn't mean they deserve all of you forever. If a relationship survives only because you're tolerating mistreatment or silence, that's not love. That's fear, dressed up as loyalty. You're allowed to choose peace over history. You're allowed to say, this doesn't work for me anymore. And you can do that without guilt. Not every difficult relationship needs to end. Some can evolve, if both people are willing. But if not, you can still grow. You can still protect your peace, your heart, your space. Because you didn't come this far in life just to carry someone else's burden. You came this far to feel free. And sometimes, freedom begins with one quiet word. Enough. Mistake number 8, abandoning your spiritual life, 1230 to 1400 hours. There's a kind of emptiness that has nothing to do with loneliness or boredom. It's the ache that shows up when we lose touch with something bigger than ourselves. Maybe you used to pray, or meditate, or just sit outside and feel a deep connection to the world around you. But as life got harder, that spiritual part of you faded. Not because you stopped believing, but because pain and disappointment made you question everything. Maybe loss made you angry. Maybe illness made you scared. And so you quietly stepped away from that part of you that once felt rooted. But here's what I want you to know. Your soul didn't go anywhere. It's been waiting. Not to judge you, but to welcome you back. Your spiritual life doesn't have to follow a religion or a rulebook. It just needs to be honest. A space inside you where you can rest from the noise. Where you can ask, what still matters to me? Where you remember, you are more than your to-do list, your age, or your aches. You are still a soul. And that soul still needs care. Still needs connection. Still needs wonder. You can return to it through prayer. Through silence. Through walking in nature. Or even just lighting a candle and breathing deeply. You don't need answers. You just need to stay open. To wonder. To gratitude. To the mystery of being alive at this exact moment in time. If this spoke to you, comment number 8. Let me know you're still with me. Mistake number 9, believing there's nothing left to discover, 14 to 1530. This is one of the quietest, and most dangerous, mistakes of all. The belief that life's big moments are behind you. That surprise is for the young. That wonder is something you've outgrown. You don't say it out loud. But maybe you feel it. You walk past beauty without noticing. You hear laughter but feel distant from it. You stop expecting to be moved. And so, life flattens. But listen. Discovery doesn't belong to the young. It belongs to the curious. You can discover something new today. In a book you've never read. A street you've never walked. A stranger you've never spoken to. Even in yourself, a thought, a dream, a perspective that wasn't there yesterday. Some of the deepest awakenings don't come in your 20s. They come in your 70s, 80s, even 90s. Because now, you've lived. You've lost. You've loved. And you're ready to see things with a wiser heart. You weren't made to fade. You were made to keep unfolding. So give yourself permission to be surprised again. To be moved. To fall in love with something, someone, or even a new part of yourself. You don't need to chase grand adventures. Sometimes, the most powerful discoveries happen right where you are. In your own home. In your own stillness. You just have to look up. You've come a long way. You've endured more than most people know. And yet, you're still here. Still breathing. Still becoming. Maybe some of these mistakes hit close to home. Maybe some were hard to hear. That's okay. This isn't about judgment. It's about waking up. It's about remembering that this isn't the end of your story. It's just a new chapter, one you still get to write. No one will hand you joy. No one will hand you peace or dignity. You have to claim them. And you can, right now. Not all at once. Not perfectly. But slowly, gently, with one small act at a time. One quiet choice that says, I'm worth it. My life still matters. And I'm not done yet. If something in this video stirred something in you, tell me in the comments. You never know who else needs to hear your story. And if you know someone who might need this message, send it to them. It could change the direction of their day, or even their life. And finally, if you want more videos like this, gentle, honest, and made with care, subscribe to the channel. We're building a space where aging is not something to fear, but something to embrace. You're not alone in this. We're walking this path together. And there's still so much life left to live.